Well, hello, Robert Heffernan with EndoTech, and I am testing. Sometimes you test the audio right there in the intro. I'm a master endotechnician, firmly in the matrix, man. Everything's in the matrix. Everything's digital. Nobody's screaming and yelling at each other, well, for the most part. Anyway, please follow us at EndoTech_IO and at HFR from the floor on Twitter. And this is Market Vitals. It's our show talking tradable assets. Some of them fiat-based, some of them blockchain-based. And that's what we do. We come at trading from a technical frame of mind, although we will talk about the fundamentals, right? And we do that in this segment. This segment's doing the rounds, my chance, and it's a weekend edition, by the way. Weekend edition. Cryptos never sleep, so we'll talk about that. Price discovery always going on in crypto. And in fiat world, it is Friday, the end of the week, also the end of the month. So very important from my point of view, the way I trade is to understand what that weekly and monthly fractal look like in trading, because the longer term time frames, in my opinion, drive the market. Bigger money plays on longer term time frames, so you have to be aware of the areas where they are more likely than not to trade. The other thing I wanted to just talk briefly on is let's fundamentals be damned. We are living in a tweet-driven market dynamic like no other time in history. I mean, it used to be back in the day, the times that the market had activity was strictly around economic releases supplied by the different governments of this blue dot. So, when I was first on the trading floor, money supply was a giant one, all right? And still to this day, unemployment figures, but to a lesser extent, sometimes CPI, sometimes the ISM, manufacturing indexes, things like that gave you a fundamental viewpoint of what was going on in the marketplace. And on those number releases, and they were timed, man. You knew what time the release was coming out. And people would jockey and get in position and have their opinions on what those fundamental releases were going to be. And there was trade pre-release and then post-release. You heard the term buy the rumor, sell the fact all the time in trading. Now it's completely different. At any time, the president can tweet, some Fed governor could be talking somewhere, somebody influential in the crypto space can say something, and these markets react. So it's challenging, to say the least. Anyway, that's just what I wanted to say about that. That the fact that we are living in headline-driven markets makes it a little bit more difficult to trade, but the numbers don't lie, and longer-term levels become levels for action, for taking action, and it actually makes trading short-term a little bit more difficult because models get blown up a lot easier short-term when there's so much emphasis put on a particular leak of a tweet, or not even a leak, a tweet or a leak of a news story or somebody talking with influence within a particular asset. And people react to it, and a lot of times they react and then it comes right back, but that's the environment that we're living in. All right, the other one I wanted to share, and this is in the crypto space, and I think you're going to enjoy this. So this is what you got. You got people with a lot of money understanding that the blockchain's not going away and that crypto assets are going to be a necessary part of anybody's long-term portfolio. And some of these high net people want to be in, and one particular billionaire wants to buy 25% of all the BTC in existence, says a crypto mogul. All right, but the interesting part about this, and by the way, this was from the Daily Hold, is the body. All right, the body of the article, and in particular, Dadiani says she is working to buy as much Bitcoin as she can for her clients by making over-the-counter purchases. She hopes to avoid pushing up the market price of Bitcoin. I mean, I read that, and being a 30-year veteran of the markets, I actually bursted out laugh. Yeah, I LOL'd, all right, for all you younger generation. She's going to try to buy 4,432,953 Bitcoin quietly over the counter. I mean, the fact that this got printed, it just blows me away. How could you do that? I understand that you can quietly accumulate positions in things, and sometimes you can quietly accumulate a large position in things. But for me, it seems ridiculous to think that over the counter, this type of quietly accumulation is going to go unnoticed by the market. Sooner or later, over the counter people, if they don't have the Bitcoin, they need to go into the market to buy the Bitcoin. If they can't buy it over the counter or under the counter or on the side of the counter, then they got to go to the exchanges. Sooner or later, the activity reaches the marketplace. Price discovery always ends up in exchanges, on exchanges, and therefore in the charts. And there's no way to hide. The market's too efficient. Anyway, I thought I'd bring that to your attention. Look out for a mogul, billionaire looking to acquire 4 million Bitcoin. I got a couple I'll throw his way, but not until the chart tells me to. All right, listen. Let's take the vitals in today for your viewing pleasure. Taking the vitals, my chance to talk about actual trading, price discovery, and various assets. Today, covering gold, because I want to talk about, especially as I mentioned earlier, we are rolling the week and we are rolling the month. And for me, gold has got a very awesome potentiality setup going on here. Right now, gold, hold on, it's trading around 1307, somewhere in there. Let's just say that. I don't want to spend time looking up the actual price right now. And knocking up against that upmo collar on the daily at 1309. But for me, more importantly, as we roll the month here, that also happens to be the monthly up momentum level in gold, 1309, 1310. And so all things being equal, we have a real good chance to go into upmo on the monthly. And if you've been following me and watching what happens on these monthly charts over the past several months to a year, monthly levels are incredibly important. All right, you don't get to these levels very often in the trade cycle. And the fact that we're there on the monthly in gold is very important to me. And if we can push through there and start discovering prices above that 13, let's call it 09, 10, whatever, that level, room on that chart fully out. Hold on, let me give you the actual number. And it's going to shift here because we are 1391 is the upmo collar on the monthly in gold. So a lot of potentiality going on in the chart on the monthly. And it'll be the first time in upmo on the monthly in about 5 months. And we haven't spent very much time above the monthly upmo at all. I mean, you can count the months on two hands. We've been in upmo on the monthly since 2016. All right. So it's an incredibly important area, and let's see how it pans out. No pun intended. That was awesome. Anyway, let's talk crypto now and go on to Bitcoin. Now, I talked about this market being all these markets being driven by headlines. Headline risk is unbelievable. And Mike Novogratz talked yesterday about him seeing Bitcoin will probably be in range bound between 7,000 and 10,000. And we were trading around 9,000 when he made the comment. And they destroyed this market on that comment. And so they took him out of upmo on the daily. They got around the center line. I forget what the low was here. Hold on, let me just pull that up. Bitfinex, the low yesterday. Yeah, 8,000 at Bitfinex. Is that on the ping? 8,005. So they went and checked out the daily average. They took him out of upmo. We still haven't been able to climb back into upmo on the daily. That comes in at 85.78 today. But it just shows you the incredible susceptibility these markets are to headline risk. I mean, moving percentages here on a comment that he thinks, obviously he thinks he's good. It's good. He's got, tens and tens and tens, hundreds of, I don't know if hundreds, but over $100 million in this asset class. And so, he's in it for the long haul. He thinks it's going higher and much higher over time. But just that comment that he saw that we're in a congestion area and that 10,000 will be about the, 7,000 to 10,000. He did say, if I'm wrong, I think I'm wrong to the upside. Like there's more upside potential going on. And, I actually see that too. The slope of the standard deviation modeling tells me that this thing is not done yet. And we've talked about the levels. He said 10,000. I was more like 10,576. I'm going to give you the exact number. On the weekly, next week we're going to get more potentiality. On the monthly, we're rolling the monthly in Bitcoin. So very important here to understand the weeklies and the monthlies and where we are in the cycle of these things on those longer term time fractals. And we haven't even begun really to tell the story about this asset class in monthly up momentum. Now we're just in it. We just gained monthly up momentum in Bitcoin. And so that's a longer term discussion. And and not only that, the chart evolves, all right? The potentialities evolve. They're usually increasing or decreasing. And that's super important to keep in mind when you're building out your trade methodology, all right? What are the potentialities and what is the slope? What is going on with those potentialities in order for you to model it? All right, listen, that's what I got. The week is going to roll here. So Sunday night, please tune in. Must See TV Sunday night for Blockchain Vitals weekly segment that I will do and talk about not only the weekly setup, but what those monthly fractals did on about the top 12. So please tune in Sunday night. It'll be around 5 o'clock on the West Coast, so 8 o'clock in the evening, East Coast, middle of the night somewhere. Anyway, have a great weekend. Listen, man, you work too hard not to get out and enjoy yourself on the weekends. Cryptos never sleep. We'll be trading those all weekend long. But please, thank you so much for watching. Be disciplined, trade discipline, and mind the mo. And I'll see you Sunday night for a Blockchain Vitals weekly segment. Thank you so much for watching.